Okay, hi everyone. So it's another one of my janky videos. So again, I apologize, but the one good thing about having this weird video setup is that you can see the mirror and the picture because I want you to see how I'm observing myself. So I know it's kind of weird, but we'll just make do. So as you can maybe not see, but I'm going to show you, this is my palette. Okay, so I have it set up. I have three different reds, a blue, two yellows, a green and an orange from the tubes over here that I didn't make. And then here I've mixed a skin tone, a pink skin tone and a dark skin tone. And then this is just a dark green. And I'm just going to show you how to continue to work on your self-portrait, thinking about using your purples for your darks, for your shadows, and warmer colors like yellows, oranges, and pinks for your highlights. Of course, you'll mixing some white in there too. So you can use a few different brushes. I suggest you have a few different brushes available. Again, I don't have the best brush selection, so please don't follow my lead. But I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna look in the mirror. And again, you should spend a few hours on this project, at least 3 hours. Now that doesn't mean like 3 straight hours, but thinking about coming back to it, like I let this dry. It's been like a couple hours since I last worked on this. So thinking about, you don't have to do this all in one sitting. That's not what I'm expecting. I'm expecting the paint studies, the quick ones, to kind of be all in one sitting, but that's a little different. Um, so I'm gonna even lighten up my pink a little bit more. And again, you can be using your medium to kind of extend the wetness of your paint, as well as water, if you wanted to use water too. And you can use thicker paint kind of towards the end as you can add thicker layers kind of as you get closer to finishing. Um, Sometimes if you use like a orange from the tube, if you have one, you can mix that with a yellow and get like a nicer yellow orange, like a tangerine almost. Add some white. Also using your palette knife can be helpful. Cleaning it off on your sponge. My sponge actually is a little dirty, so I'm actually using paper towel. So where I see the warm light hitting my face, I'm going to be putting more warm colors. And where I see the dark shadows, I'm going to be putting my cooler colors. Oops. Now again, I have my glasses on in real life, but I'm not putting them in the picture. That's called something called artistic license, which you all have. So again, you don't need to put your glasses in if you don't want. As you can see, I'm kind of looking. Use a bigger brush for this. And then you also want to be putting in, as you work on your portrait, you also want to be considering your background. Now I mixed this green with cadmium yellow deep and a permanent green from the tube, and I mixed that together so you can kind of get a richer green. Now for the background, you can consider putting in a place or a pattern, thinking about varying paint textures. Really want to just leave it up to you to kind of decide what you want to do. But you can see I'm kind of paying attention to the whole canvas as I work across it in the beginning. And again, you can use your palette knife to make thicker marks. And also, if you put too much paint on, you can also use it to kind of go in and kind of correct something that you maybe overpainted. So adding a little more yellow to my skin tone, adding a little water. Mixing up a reddish brown. I can go back over this with a little bit more yellow. My hair is like 5,000 different colors, so it's kind of hard. As I layer yellow over it, it kind of starts to be closer to my hair color. So hair is one of those things that should be done over time because usually hair has a lot of different color to it depending on the light that you're in. And again, I kind of started this with a different hat on, a different different kind of hairstyle a little bit. So it's going to change a little. But I would just go back in with my, to use the original color hat that I had, just to keep things consistent for the painting. And then this red and green have like a nice complementary color relationship. So that creates like a nice contrast. You could add some purple to that for the folds. So thinking that the darks are always like blues and purples and not blacks. As you can tell, or as you've seen, I haven't used any black, and my hat had a little bit of a pattern on it. So I haven't used any black out of the tube. I've kind of I've only mixed my my dark colors, my browns and whatnot. So I'm laying on thick light here. I have lights here. Going in with the palette knife with that. You can even scrape some off. I put a lot of different artists to look at examples of on the final project on Blackboard. So I encourage you to look for the look at those to see different artists' ways of painting. Sometimes you might want to let it dry, but also just to kind of see the different ways artists use color. I mess up, just gonna go in with my dark brush, go over there, hold your brush in different ways. So hopefully this is helpful. Now I'm going to go back in also just do a pattern on my background. I suggest you guys can spend a little more time on that. I'm just kind of trying to show you different ways you can. I would consider laying the paint on a lot thicker down here, start putting in patterns, which I can continue to show you in class. Hopefully this is helpful, and we'll do a check-in after you do your sketches so we can kind of see how things are going.